Live from UFCU Disch-Falk Field in Austin, Texas, it's the 2013 UIL Baseball State Championships. This is the Class 3A state final, and it's the Texarkana Pleasant Grove Hawks against the Grange Leopards. Good evening and welcome here to Disch-Falk Field in Austin, Texas. I'm Gerald Sanchez along with Jeff Power, and experience versus experience, not necessarily the teams, but the programs playing here for the state championship.
Hey, this is a battle I've been waiting for in Class 3A. Pleasant Grove making their 7th state tournament appearance, 6 consecutive. They are the defending champs. And of course, Grange, 8 times they have been here to the state tournament. Think back to some of the names. Homer Bailey played here for Grange, won a state title in 2004. Ty Gunn, former quarterback from TCU, he played here with Grange as well. A lot of star-studded players. These are the best 2 teams in all of 3A, and they're going to put it on today here at UFCU Disch-Falk Field.
And also, Jeff, a lot of storylines that go along with these 2 teams.
Yeah, storylines galore. Both these teams had big innings yesterday. They both had a 4 spot early on in the game that kind of set the tone. We had an inside-the-park grand slam for Grange that really helped them out in their game. But taking advantage of big innings, not committing as many errors as their opponent, and not walking as many players as their opponent as well.
And we have some highlights, and we're going to look at them from yesterday's ball game.
And just like any other level of ball that you play, it's important to get on their starting pitcher early. If you don't, then he's going to start to find his rhythm. Ball up the middle. The throw cut off by the first baseman, Hahn, and the game's first run is scored by the Hawks. Hopkins scores. This is an important part of the game as well. To the left side, and it's going to be an error by the shortstop. Mosley on the right side, and they're not going to get the out anywhere. Another run, Rayburn. And with the 3-2 count and 2 outs, runners will start their engines. Here it is. And the run scores on a bases loaded walk. 5-2. Texarkana Pleasant Grove. Perlman has gotten 2 RBIs, his 6th and 7th RBIs of the season.
Welcome back to UFCU Disch-Falk Field, site of the Class 3A championship game, Pleasant Grove and Grange. Joining us now, Craig Jones, the head coach of the Hawks of Pleasant Grove. It's got to sound good being back in this championship game again. You are the defending champs, and it is a perfect matchup. You guys have been here 6 straight years. They've been here 8 times total. Give me your thoughts about that.
Well, Grange has a great history of baseball, and especially back in the 80s and stuff like that. And I think they were back here in 04. And it's nice to be back here 6 times in a row, but this is a different team, and we want to make our own legacy and our own history today.
What did you guys learn about your victory over Lubbock Cooper?
Well, like we talked about, sometimes those guys come in with those pitchers come in, throwing 90, 92, 94, and they're 10-0, 14-0, and sometimes a big stage you get them, and I think that's what they got in trouble with. They walked us 10 times yesterday, and that's pretty much what got them in trouble. And had their setback, but we have the discipline up there to make sure that they throw strikes, and then we executed with our bunting game and our running game, and it paid off.
Trey Jeans gets the start for you guys today. Tell us about him. What can we expect?
Well, he's a left-hander junior, and he's got a 7-3 record, and his last 2 losses were in the playoffs, but there was a 1-0 loss and a 2-1 loss. So he's pitched well, and he's won in the playoffs too before that. So. He's ready to go. He played right field yesterday, but we all hydrated him, so we expect good things from him today.
Joe Perlman might have been your MVP yesterday. Give me your thoughts about him and the kind of heart he has as a player and how that sort of rubs off on your other teammates.
Well, he's the type of guy, he can have that kind of that day again, and and you never know. It always seems like somebody that's not one of your leaders or whatever steps up down here in Austin. He's sitting down there in a 9-hole and goes 2 for 3 and knocks in 3 and steals the base and played good defense over there. So you never know who's going to step up for this team, and as long as we're all locked in and focused, we'll make those big plays in the field and make those big hits at the plate.
All right, Craig Jones, Texarkana Pleasant Grove, good luck this evening. We'll be back with the starting lineups and much more here at UFCU Disch-Falk Field.
He's still there. In to left center, and Shellhammer that can't make the play. This will clear the bases. And maybe an inside the Parker for Collett. The throw not in time.
Wow.
What a way to pick up your teammate.
Well, no question, that right there, the play of the game so far. Silsbee Tiger center fielder Colin Shellhammer appears to have a beat on it. At this point, you're thinking, okay, he's slowing down, he's got it, but that ball just sailed on him at the last minute. Then he goes down to the ground, had to get up on his feet and get to that ball as quickly as possible. Could have happened at a worse time with the bases loaded, everyone running, so including the man who hit it.
An inside the park grand slam. Wow. How many times do you see that? Shellhammer going back, and he misplayed it. He froze. They're going to wave the runner. A triple for Fresh, and Cologne scores.
It looks like Shellhammer's got a beat on it at the beginning, realized it's going over his head. By the time he turned around, it was just too late. The dimensions here, it's 400 to dead center. It's 405 to the power alleys. You're better off dropping back first and figuring out exactly where it is than to let that happen and let it get over your head.
Oh, Shupak. Second 1-2-3 inning of the afternoon, and he is pumped as well as his teammates.
Welcome back to UFCU Dish Falk Field. I'm Jeff Power. We're here for the Class 3A Championship of Baseball. Of course, LaGrange taking on Pleasant Grove. And joining us now, the head coach for LaGrange, Brad Harbers. First of all, Brad, you got to be excited. This is the moment you guys have been waiting for. What did you tell your team prior to the game today?
Just like I said, anytime you can play the last game, the last day of the season, you know, it's a great feeling. And there is no pressure on us. Like I said, they're the defending state champions and, you know, have been here before. And we're happy to be here, but we're not content to be here. And like I said, just go out and have fun, play your game. And like I said, when it's all over, everything's going to be great.
What a perfect matchup on paper. You've got two teams who are used to being here. You guys have been here 8 times. They've been here 6 consecutive years. Does that play a role, all the experience that you guys maybe don't have nerve factors?
Yeah, like I say, you know, it's a completely different team. You know, for both of us, I think he lost 8 starters from last year's team, although some of the guys, you know, have been here. You know, for us, this is a new experience. The last time we were here was in 2004. It's a great experience to be a high school baseball player. You know, to play in the state championship game here at Dish Falk Field, you know, kind of, you know, before they switched it up going to Dell in here. You know, this was always the home of Texas high school baseball championship games. And to get the opportunity to play here today, like I said, it's a dream come true for these guys.
Kobe Kolick had an inside the park grand slam. Have you ever seen one of those before?
No, it's the first time I'd seen one of those. And like I said, that kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. You know, we were tied up at that point, and that kind of set the tone for us and kind of got our fans back into it, got our team back into it, and I think it kind of settled Shupak down on the mound a little bit. And, you know, from that point on, you know, things just clicked for us.
And Trey Shupak, he pretty much shut them down. Who's got the start tonight? Tell us about him.
Tonight's starter is going to be Logan Vin Clark. He picked up a lot of the innings early on when Shupak was out with his ACL injury. Senior pitcher for us, been a 4-year starter for us, and has experience. He's been the quarterback on our football team. He's going to Blinn Junior College as a quarterback, and so, like I said, pressure, he can handle that.
All right, Brad Harbers, LaGrange Leopards. We'll be right back with much more.
Just completing the national anthem at Dish Falk Field, Gerald Sanchez along with Jeff Power. And the starting pitcher for the LaGrange Leopards, Logan Vin Clark. He was the third baseman yesterday, made a couple of errors. And talking with head coach Brad Harbers, he said, Jeff, that normally he is very smooth out in the field. His arm angle dropped a little bit. Maybe it was a bit of the jitters, but they are playing here for the state championship, which would be their 4th if they win. And ironically, the first state championship that they won back in 1973, that it was 40 years ago today.
Right on the nose.
At Clark Field.
There you go, at Clark Field. Of course, now Dish Falk Field, the home of the University of Texas, opened in 1975, UFCU Dish Falk Field. A lot of new dimensions here. The stadium is absolutely beautiful, totally renovated. 340 down that left field line. Right field line is 325, 400 dead center. How about those starting lineups?
For the Pleasant Grove Hawks, a record of 28-13. Craig Jones, their head coach. Second baseman Alex Alsop will lead it off, followed by Casey Rayburn, the left fielder. Hitting third and playing shortstop is Ty Harp. Center fielder Dylan Sylvie in the cleanup spot. Trey James, the starting pitcher, will bat fifth. Following him, first baseman Jared Bayless. How about the job that Bayless did yesterday in relief? Picking up the win. Right fielder Hudson Hopkins in the number 7 spot. Kaysen Cordray hitting 8th, and catching and rounding out the lineup is the third baseman Joe Perlman. He also had a heck of a ball game, driving in a couple of key runs, having 3 hits, and playing outstanding defense over at the hot corner. And it bears worth mentioning that Perlman is only a freshman. Again, top 3. Second baseman Alsop, left fielder Rayburn, shortstop Harp. Middle 3, center fielder Sylvie, pitcher Jeans, first baseman Bayless, and the right fielder Hopkins, catcher Cordray, and the third baseman is Perlman. That's the starting lineup for the Texarkana Pleasant Grove Hawks, their 6th straight tournament appearance, and they're trying to make it back-to-back. They're in the gold jerseys. LaGrange in the home whites with the purple and the gold as well. LaGrange, a record of 25-6, and it is Vin Clark on the mound. Logan, a record of 8 wins and 2 losses. We're underway as the first pitch is in there. And the lineup for the umpires. Paul Rogers is behind the plate. First baseman is Rob Heckendorn. Second baseman Danny Rayborn, and Steve Lopez is the third baseman. Quickly 2 strikes on Alex Alsop.
Yeah, Alsop with a .293 batting average, off to a good start this year.
Alsop was 1 for 4. 1 hit, also a walk in yesterday's ball game, the 7-3 win over Lubbock Cooper, and he goes to first base.
Just got beamed right in the back. The whole idea for that leadoff hitter is to get on base, whether it's taking one for the team or a walk or a single, get on base. Alsop does just that.
You see third base coach, and it is the head coach, Craig Jones. And here is Casey Rayburn, the left fielder. He shows bunt, and it is fouled over to the on-deck circle on the first base side. Defensively for LaGrange, Ben Clark is on the mound behind the plate. Logan Garrick over at first base, Chris Rayburn. Second baseman is Austin Colon. Shortstop Tanner Frisch. The third baseman is Trey Shupak, winning pitcher in yesterday's ball game, the start and the complete game. Toss over to first base, and it gets away from the first baseman Rayburn. A harmless throw. And rounding second, maybe to third. No, he'll put on the brakes there, Alsop. So an error by Vin Clark. Made a couple of errors in yesterday's ball game. Here's the E1 here, tonight's ball game.
Pleasant Grove likes to put pressure on the defense by running around on the bases, always trying to take that extra 90 feet wherever they can get it.
In center field, Colby Kolick, who hit the inside the park grand slam in yesterday's game. Flanked to right by Adam Robinson. Dalton Burton is the left fielder. Bunt attempt on the left side, and it will roll foul. Count of no balls and 2 strikes to Casey Rayburn. Rayburn also had a hit. Pleasant Grove banged out 6 hits in yesterday's ball game, the 7-3 win over Lubbock Cooper. Jared Bayless, 5 innings, 4 hits, just a run, only 1 walk through 77 pitches. Craig Jones said the reason he took him out yesterday was because he was tiring, and it was hot yesterday. And speaking of hot, it's hot again, a 93-degree game time temperature. Chopper in front of the mound. Vin Clark gets the runner, Rayburn, but advancing to third base is Alsop.
Good play by Logan right there, firing it over to first, get that sure out. Looked like he was kind of taking his time there, but had just enough time to fire it over to first base. Good strong arm by a pitcher.
Ty Harp, the shortstop. Harp, right-handed batter, and the first pitch is a breaking pitch that stays a little high. Just underway from Dish Falk Field.
Outstanding crowd out here tonight. A lot of purple and gold, and of course the gold and black of Pleasant Grove as well.
Last year, Texarkana, Pleasant Grove defeated West in the state championship game right here on this field. And if you remember, had a little bit of a delay, the cloudy skies. And here it is sunshine, and we had touched on this yesterday about the home plate being in shadows, and at the start, as you can see, the pitcher is still somewhat in sunlight, and then the shadows come. Foul just down the third base line.
That was close, no question about it. Good call by the third base umpire there, Steve Lopez.
So we have the situation with the shadows, and maybe in about an inning or so, the shadows will be over in the pitcher's mound as well. What will be difficult is what we saw in last night or yesterday's ball games with the second baseman and the right fielder with the sunlight and having a tough time. This should get the run home. Cologne throws out Harp, but he gets the RBI. Alsup scores from third base, and the Hawks score a run without the benefit of a hit, taking advantage of the opportunities that's given to them.
Yeah, Alex Alsup, he gets beamed. He takes second on a wild pitch, scores there on the ground ball to the right side. That's what you want to do. Good piece of hitting there by Ty Harp, hitting it to the right side of the field. Dylan Sylvia will step up now with the bases clean.
Vin Clark gets him to swing and miss. Vin Clark was dubbed as the 1A pitcher. And he was the staff ace until it was Trey Shupak was able to get healthy from that surgery. Count of 1-1. When he held the staff together until Shupak was able to come back. And this one's over his head and through into center field.
Nice piece of hitting right there. Just barely over the pitcher's head, just barely past the shortstop. Almost a seeing eye single right there as it squirms through, but that ball was hit pretty hard. First hit of the game.
2 away, and Trey Jeans, the starting pitcher, played in right field yesterday. Exceptional speed for Jeans. He only had one at bat. And runner goes. This is going to be thrown into center field. A stolen base for Sylvie.
I noticed how Sylvie kind of slid past the bag just a little bit there, and that denied any chance of trying to get up and go to third base. He was just trying to make sure he was back on the bag. Got to get used to the fact that there's no sand out there around the bases there, first, second, and third, or home for that matter. You could slide a little further than you think.
Pleasant Grove with 4 stolen bases in yesterday's win over Lubbock Cooper in the semifinal. Ball gets away from the catcher Garrick, and heading to third is Sylvie.
Yeah, the only dirt on the entire field is the pitching mound. It's one of the best in baseball. They don't try to water the field. They just water that pitching mound. I've learned that watering artificial surface when it's hot will make it even hotter.
2-0 count to Trey Jeans. Help his own cause at picking up another run. Inside. That's a big run right there.
Just going to say the same thing. In a championship game, scoring that first run is so important.
And then playing add-on. Jeans taken all the way, and then Clark gets a strike. So it's mound opponent versus mound opponent here in the top of the first. The righty delivers. Runners on the corners with 2 away. And one of yesterday's heroes, Jared Bayless, first baseman today, but on the mound yesterday, Bayless. It was 5 innings of just 4-hit, 1-run ball. He came on in the second inning after Dalton Willigie, the starting pitcher for Pleasant Grove, faltered. He only was throwing 1 inning, 34 pitches, and Craig Jones had to give him the hook. There's a bunt attempt, runner going down to second base. Nope, they're going to let Jeans steal the base. A little bit surprised that maybe they don't have a courtesy runner for the pitcher, Jeans.
I am, and look, there you go. Courtesy runner coming in right now. Once he gets in the scoring position, go ahead and pull him out.
Matthew Johnson came on as a courtesy runner in yesterday's game, also with the stolen base. Courtesy running. So it's Matthew Johnson, a senior. Not a lot of at-bats, but plenty of courtesy running for the Hawks this year. So with runners at second and third, here's a big at-bat here for Bayless. It's down the count 0-1, and Vin Clark wants a new set of signs from his catcher, Landon Garrick. The 0-1, beautiful. So if you're Vin Clark with the runner at third, you throw him a strike? Or you just say, here, bounce it up there, Garrick, make sure you block it. This one is hit in the air to center. And that'll do the top of the first for Pleasant Grove. A run on one hit, one error, and 2 men left on. LaGrange just now coming into bat. A hot day here in Austin, but it's always great to see Old Glory flying out there in center field at Dish Falk Field. Pleasant Grove getting a run in the top of the first, and now it is LaGrange's turn as they'll have the shortstop Tanner Frisch to lead it off, followed by the DH, Dustin Drab. Third baseman is Trey Shupak hitting third. Logan Vin Clark, a pitcher, is batting in the cleanup spot. Dalton Burton hitting fifth, playing left field. Colby Kolick, center fielder, hitting in the sixth spot. Trace Rayburn, first baseman, in this number 7 spot following him. Landon Garrick, catcher. And rounding out the lineup is the second baseman, Austin Colon, for Brad Harbors and the LaGrange Leopards.
Yesterday the wind was blowing out to the left. Today it's blowing more out towards right. About the same temperature.
Jeans' first pitch in the bottom of the first. Inside. Jeans 7-3 on the season. And it's under the glove of Hart. Frisch reaches first, and they're going to rule that a hit.
Yeah, sharply hit ball right there. Maybe the shadow's causing a bit of effect there as far as not being able to pick up that first initial hop, but definitely you got to get in front of that ball right there as quickly as you can.
Dustin Drab, DH. We see Harp, the center fielder. Excuse me, Harp, the shortstop. Give you the lineup here defensively is Bayless playing first base. Alex Alsop is the second baseman. Ty Harp at short. Joe Perlman, third baseman. Dylan Sylvian center. Hudson Hopkins is in right. Casey Rayburn in left. Carson Cordray behind the plate, and Trey Jeans on the mound. 1 ball and no strikes.
Important for LaGrange to try to answer that run that Pleasant Grove got at the top of the first inning.
This is a great stadium to play a little small ball in with the dimensions the way they are. Again, the power alleys go out as 405. 400 to dead center, 325 down the right field line, 340 down the left field line. A lot of space to cover for the outfield.
Only 7 ball players, seven new faces in the starting lineup for Pleasant Grove from the state championship team of last year. The only 2 that are returning are Cordray behind the plate and Alex Alsop over at second base.
And the third baseman there for Pleasant Grove, Joe Perlman, really coming in very close to the batter right there, Dustin Drab.
He could shake hands with Drab if he wanted to. That's how on top of things he was.
That's when you hope Drab doesn't turn around and decide to swing away.
2-2.
You'll see that a lot in softball where they'll show bunt and then they'll pull back and they'll kind of slap hit it. Not so much in baseball. Once you commit, you need to pretty much stick with it.
Pitcher Trey Jeans is still in the sunlight. It's early evening here in Austin. And it doesn't really start to get dark until about 8 o'clock. So most of this game for the outfielders will be played in sunlight. And that can be tough. Let's see if it will have an effect on a ball that's hit into the outfield as this game progresses.
Yeah, Craig Jones, Pleasant Grove's head coach, was telling us that he really likes the move that Trey Jeans can put on first. So got to stay honest over there at first. Be a little tougher to steal on a lefty.
Drab on a full count. Into right. It'll fall. So 2 hitters, 2 hits for LaGrange. Good job of hitting by Destin Drab, just going opposite field. As you can see, the pitch a little up and out over the plate, and Drab didn't try to pull it. He just served it into right field.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting right there, and a nice job by the outfielder, Hudson Hopkins. At some point, you have to know you can't overly commit, because if that ball gets by you here at Disch Falk Field, it'll roll a long way, all the way to the wall.
Trey Shupak, hero of yesterday's ball game. Shupak, a complete game. Picking up the win. 7 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs. Only 2 earned, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. Through the first 2 innings, he had 50 pitches. He ended up with 115 for the ball game. Ball thrown into center field. Fritsch and Drab will advance 90 feet.
That ball actually hit Fritsch's right knee and squirmed into center field. And you might notice right now the second baseman for Pleasant Grove, Alex Alsop, talking to the second base ump there, Danny Ravian, that, hey, interference there. Situation where coming off the knee, no way he could make a play.
They call that an error on Alsop, E4. Shupak. Shupak can give his team a lead with a hit to the outfield.
Yeah, Alsop just kind of got tangled up there at second. You got to get that glove out in front. Show the pitcher the target you're trying to throw to.
So Jeans has a tall task here in the bottom of the first.
And if you're LaGrange, this is just what the doctor ordered. You're just giving up 1 run. You've got 2 on now, still nobody out. The 2 runners in scoring position, meat of the order up right now. And Shupak had that great performance yesterday on the mound. We'll see what he can do here at the plate.
Well, with the base open, and such a good hitter, a talented hitter such as Shupak, catcher Cordray and Jeans making sure that they're on the same page, visiting with one another. This is an important moment in the ball game. I know it's very early, and it happened in yesterday's ball game too. We talked with Craig Jones, head coach of the Hawks, about it, that crazy first couple of innings between them and Lubbock Cooper.
5 walks between the two in the first inning alone.
That first inning probably took a good 30 minutes to play. The 3-0.
Crowd didn't like that one, but that's a high strike zone.
The crowd in purple didn't like that.
Well, Trey Shupak, look at him. He's like 6'5".
And now it's full.
Shupak was telling me yesterday after the game that he's been working with Homer Bailey's father on pitching and also getting some tips about being at the plate, trying to become a better hitter.
Payoff pitch. Try to go to the outer half of the plate, and he missed. The bases are loaded with nobody out.
We saw yesterday Craig Jones not afraid to make a change early on. Here he is coming out to the mound right now, wants to settle down his pitcher, and he had a short leash yesterday, and I wouldn't be surprised if he has a short one again today. Trey Jean so far has not gotten anybody out here in the first inning. Bases are loaded. An old double play would be what the doctor ordered here for Pleasant Grove, but right now just trying to get an out. Telling everyone, hey, bring it home. Infield in, let's bring it home. Get that first out at the plate. Turn around and fire to first.
Dalton Willigie, the starting pitcher in yesterday's game for the Hawks, went out there for the second inning, but never recorded an out. So 1+ inning pitch for him is Craig Jones with the hook. Into right. And it'll be caught by Hopkins. But it will tie the score. Ball was hit very well by Logan Van Clark.
Doing a nice job of helping himself right there, driving in the first run for Grange to tie it up at 1. Hitting it where it's pitched, out towards right. And you might have noticed also Tanner Fritsch, he waited until not only the ball was caught, but until it was already on its way in before he left third base. Just making sure you knew he had plenty of time to get home with a deep, well-hit ball out to right.
Sac fly RBI scores Frisch. So it is 1-1 here in the bottom of the first with Dalton Burton. Open stance for the right-handed hitting Burton. You got to like Trey Jeans' movement on his pitches. Left-hander. Ball was tailing on the inner half of the plate.
Well, as we've seen in all these 3A games, the 2 semifinal games yesterday, it's all about control. You got to throw strikes.
Tries to go on the outer half of the plate and misses. Jeans, the number 2 pitcher all year long in district play for Pleasant Grove. And in the last couple of ball games, as that's rifled foul down the third base line, the last couple of ball games he has lost in the postseason in a 3-game series. Lost 2-1 to Princeton in the regional semis, and in the regional finals he lost to Melissa 1-0. And
yeah, so that was bad luck right there.
Yeah, no run support.
At 27-13, not a great overall record right now. At 28-13 with their win yesterday, but
they started the year 10-10, and they lost the first game in district play, and then that's when things really turned around for these young men. The 1-2.
And don't underestimate being the defending champion. I mean, there is something to that. Once you know you've been there and done that, you can turn around and as you get to the postseason, anything can happen.
As you know,
a lot of teams.
The old saying, never underestimate the heart of a champion.
There you go.
As Jean steps off the rubber. Drab is at third. He went to third on that fly ball to right field.
It's not uncommon for teams to reach the postseason in sports, then just find a new level of play.
And that's the second out of the inning. That's a big out. Does not advance the runner. As Dalton Burton strikes out. That's the first strikeout for Trey Jeans.
And Burton might have been doing Jeans a favor right there, swinging on a pretty high fastball there. Now the man who hit the inside the park home run yesterday, Kobe Kolick.
What did you think on that play in center field yesterday? What did you think of the center fielder, Shellhammer? Do you think he misplayed the ball, or do you think the sun might have been a factor yesterday?
I think several factors. Let's face it, these players aren't used to playing in an environment where you've got this much darkness with the actual stadium, 2 levels high. Then all of a sudden that ball gets above that level up into the sky. It changes. I could see how maybe with some cloud cover and some, maybe even the sun peering through, he lost it.
Up the middle, and that's the 3rd out. Good play by Harp. Kolick into a fielder's choice. So the LaGrange Leopards answer with a run of their own on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left on. Tied at 1, 2013 UIL Baseball State Championships. The UIL building out there in center. Here's Hudson Hopkins, right fielder. Then Clark delivers. Onto the right side. Cologne throws out Hopkins.
Quick out right there. That's what LaGrange is looking for. Now they've done their job offensively by tying the game back up at 1. Wipe the slate clean, move on to the 2nd inning. Both these teams know after yesterday's early rough start, really, for both teams, how important it is to try to bounce back from early trouble. Jason Cordray at the plate now, the catcher here for Pleasant Grove. 1 ball, no strike, batting .227. 19 runs batted in. This one swung on, hit up the middle, but right at the center fielder.
And that is the 2nd out of the inning. Cordray and Alsip are the 2 remaining players on the championship team that started last year.
Here comes the MVP of yesterday's semifinal game, Joe Perlman.
Now Perlman played outstanding defense, a couple of RBIs, 3 hits yesterday out of the number 9 spot, a freshman. In fact, 3 RBIs. Also a walk. Don't want to shortchange him. 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Also 3 assists defensively. This is going to be a tough play for Schupak, and it gets down as the runner will go into second base, Perlman.
Perlman did a nice job of stepping on first base. He had to jump over the first baseman there, did a really good job. Let's take a look at the replay here. Watch Perlman. When he gets towards first base, he leaps over the first baseman, touches the bag. The umpire there on first, Rob Hinderdorn, noticed it. Yep, he touched it, slides into second safely. I tell you, Perlman makes things happen, doesn't he?
He does.
It's all that speed.
And they are going to rule that a two-base error by the third baseman Shupak. So not an infield hit and then advancing to second on the error. That is just a straight-up E5. But we saw Vin Clark at third base yesterday make the throwing error. Shupak making a throwing error here today. Popped up with 2 away, and it's not going to hurt him as Cologne squeezes it and retires the side. Alsup pops up, and they work around a 2-out error, and they leave a runner at second base. Middle of the second, tied at 1. '13 UIL Baseball State Final 3A, presented by State Farm. I'm Gerald Sanchez with Jeff Power. Chris Rayburn, first baseman. Trey Jeans out there for his second inning of work, way high. So we have Chris Rayburn, the first baseman for LaGrange, and we have Casey Rayburn, the left fielder for Pleasant Grove. But they're spelled differently. Rayburn, R-A-Y-B-U-R-N, traditional, that's how you would spell it, out there in left field for Pleasant Grove. And Rayburn, R-A-Y, and then B-O-R-N for LaGrange.
Yeah, I tell you, Chris Rayburn had a home run yesterday that was incredible. Out to left field, into the bullpen. Just quite a shot here at Disch Falk Field.
Yeah, the home run was a poke. That was the only home run in yesterday's game that left the ball yard. There was another home run by Kolick that stayed in the ball yard.
There'll be a quick timeout on the field. One of the umpires is chasing down a plastic bag, rolling into center right now.
Austin's version of the beach ball.
Oh, it got by him again. He just threw him out. He just threw the paper bag out. He just ejected him.
And the fans give Danny Rayboyne a hand. So you got Rayburn, and Rayboyne. What are the possibilities? Rayburn strikes out swinging. Oh, Jeans. That was some velocity on that pitch.
Yeah, good velocity, high fastball there. Rayburn couldn't lay off it. It's like cheese up there, that high fastball. It's easy to swing at it, but it's hard to hit it.
That is tough now because that's sunlight with the shadows. So let's see if they will use that to their advantage, the pitchers. Landon Garrick, the catcher.
Garrett goes fishing right there on the outside part of the plate. You don't want to help Jeans out here.
Back-to-back strikeouts And 3 strikeouts in the game for Trey Jeans. Well, you're seeing why. He is #2 starting pitcher on a state finalist, defending state champion. That is some good stuff right there. 2 up and 2 down with the #9 hitter, Austin Colon, batting at the bottom of the 2nd inning in a tie score. Austin Colon 1 for 3 with a walk and the 8-3 win for LaGrange over Silsbee yesterday. LaGrange and Silsbee were tied after 1 in yesterday's game, just like we are here, tied at 1 after the 1st inning. Hitting in the bottom of the 2nd. Glenn LaGrange scored 4 in the 3rd inning on the inside the Parker by Kolick. Good play by the 3rd base coach, Brad Harbers, and the head coach. Brad Harbers went to Southwest Texas State, also played his high school ball at LaGrange. The 1-2. Strikes out the side. Colon had nothing, and Jeans had everything. Through 2. It's tied at 1. UFCU Disch-Falk Field, site of the 3A state championships yet once again. Been playing the state tournament here since 1975, the year they opened this ballpark, and it's gone through some renovations and some changes, but it is a great college baseball facility.
And I think on top of that, both coaches kind of alluded to it. Getting to the dish that's always been the term they use, and a lot of high school teams for years talked about coming to Austin and playing for a state championship. It's about playing in the dish. I think it's a great thing that the Dell Diamond and Disch-Falk Field now share the championship games, but this one's special in 3A.
Colon will get it off the bat of Rayburn, and Casey Rayburn grounds into a 4-3 to start the top of the 3rd for Pleasant Grove. All right, so 2 innings have gone by now, and both pitchers have had a chance to settle in. Let's see how this 3rd inning works out.
I don't think there's any question. Both pitchers have done a better job, at least in the 2nd inning, and now as we approach the 3rd, of throwing more strikes, and that's where it all begins.
Going after the first pitch is the hitter Harp. Circling under it and making the play is Adam Robinson. Robinson might have had a little bit of difficulty with that.
I noticed he was wearing sunglasses out there. We didn't see a lot of players wearing sunglasses yesterday, and you're allowed to, so definitely bring them because the sun was wreaking havoc on these players in the semifinals. We counted at least 4 drop balls between the 2nd baseman and right field yesterday in the 2 semifinals.
Dylan Sylvie takes a pitch that just missed. You're also, Brad Harbers alluded to the fact that Trey Schupak had to figure out the starting pitcher's strike zone. The home plate umpire's strike zone. He had to figure that out for those first 50 pitches through the first 2 innings. And maybe the same here goes for Vin Clark and Jeans. Got to try to figure out the strike zone, where they're at.
Yeah, Paul Rogers behind the plate. So far, so good.
When you have a hitter like Perlman hitting, as that is hit into right field. Dylan Sylvie, a 2-out base hit. When you got a guy like Perlman in his strike zone, it makes it difficult to gauge. As Sylvie is now 2 for 2. As he has collected both hits for his Pleasant Grove Hawks.
Tell you, Perlman's trying to pick up MVP honors of the state tournament. So far, he's been impressive.
Starting pitcher Trey Jeans walked, stole a base his first time, and then was lifted for the courtesy runner Matthew Johnson.
Might have noticed there, Keith Rayburn kind of, Chris looked at his glove. Oh, I have it. Good.
Rayburn is battling that sun because it is setting in the west, which is behind the third base stands. And you can see that he's trying to battle with it. Of course, when the right-hander Vin Clark will throw, that ball's coming right out of the sun. A little bit, not a little bit, it's very difficult.
He's shielding his eyes with his glove right now, using the brim of that hat too. Whatever it takes. And if you're Pleasant Grove, take advantage of it. Probably the last inning where that sun's going to be positioned right there over the first base bag. You see the shadows creeping in over first.
Silva, one of those, Trey Jeans, beg your pardon, Silva at first base, one of those transfers that we had talked about. We had some transfers over. Of course, 7 of the players graduated in the starting lineup from last year's state championship team for Pleasant Grove. So there were some transfers that came in, including Silva. He was 2 for 2, the center fielder. Also, Trey Jeans transferred. It is shot foul.
You know, we talked about how in Class 3A, it's really, you start moving up to 4A and 5A, and there's multiple teams, you know, multiple high schools in a town. 3A, it's usually just one team, one town. So you're really wearing you're bringing the whole town with you.
The whole community, absolutely. Another one of those transfers was the starting pitcher in yesterday's game, Dalton Willigie. He transferred from Louisiana and played in the baseball state championships in Louisiana, and then came with Tommy John surgery. Then he moved over. And he recovered very quickly.
Looked pretty good yesterday.
Go, Trey! Deuce is wild. On the hitter, Trey Jeans. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Captain Hook from Vin Clark. Tied at 1. Starting pitcher Trey Jeans with 4 strikeouts in this ball game, and he will face the top of the lineup for the LaGrange Leopards, Tanner Frisch. In fact, he struck out the side in the second inning.
Yeah, very impressive in that second inning. Really seems to have found the command he was looking for. That 7-3 record starting to shine. Of course, he played right field yesterday as well.
Frisch led off the bottom of the first for LaGrange with a hit, and eventually came around to score on the Logan Vin Clark sac fly. Down on the count 0-2 here.
It's all about the location. He's keeping it down and low, working it inside, putting it in places where hitters typically have a very tough time making contact.
Gene, mid-80s, uses a lot of deception, especially coming from that left arm angle. Up the middle, base hit. Third hit for LaGrange. And that breaks the string of the strikeouts. Fritsch now 2 for 2.
Yeah, Jeans had struck out 4 the last 5 batters he had faced, but on an 0-2 count right there, way too much of the plate on that pitch. That cost him. There was a time to throw a ball, and that was it.
DH Dustin Drab singled his first time, shows bunt and pulls it back as it pops away from Cordray. See, sometimes some of the catchers have difficulties with catching the ball here, and it pops out of their glove or gets behind them. And balls that sometimes you think that they should block. Seeing that a couple of times yesterday.
I think it's a combination of things, maybe nerves. Maybe the fact that they're not on a dirt surface around home plate. There's a lot of things as far as maybe the ball skipping past them. Have to get used to it.
In the air, and it'll go behind the screen. The catcher Cordray took his mask off. Starting pitcher Trey Jeans. His grandmother passed away this year. There were several deaths of family members for the Pleasant Grove Hawks. And Jeans lost his grandmother. He has dedicated his season to his grandmother.
They've found a way to bond together. You see that about a lot of teams. They play so many more games when you're in the postseason.
It's 3-1, and there was that moment that they talked about. There was a play with Princeton at the plate in the regional semifinals, the 3-1. And the Drab takes the walk. That's the second walk given up by Trey Jeans. And Pleasant Grove, the bench clearing brawl when their catcher elbowed at one of the base runners, and just kind of really ignited them and really brought the team to a whole new level of closeness. As Craig Jones out there to talk.
You spend so much time together, long bus trips, road trips on the weekends, sometimes 3-game series. You get closer as a team. If there's a death, it's like a death in the family. You all feel for that player. You spend so much time with them. And these are they all know each other. This is a small town, Grange, small town, Pleasant Grove, and just in Texarkana area. They all know each other's families really well.
Trey Shupak, and that's a foul ball.
There's no secrets in small towns. Always good gossip, though.
Grange out of District 26 3A, and they play in that district with Gonzalez and Yoakum, Cuero. They played Hallettsville in a warm-up game, and then they lost 3-0 against Hallettsville. They show their second base, and he gets his man as Fritch went too far.
Got him on the swipe tag on the backside. Watch this.
Nice turnaround there by Trey Jeans, and Harp made a good play because Harp kept that glove on the runner Fritch.
That's why you do it right there. Good call by Danny Rabion.
A lot of times you see when a middle infielder will take a throw from a catcher or a pitcher, and they'll do that swipe tag real quick, and sometimes the ball is jarred loose. When you keep that ball on the runner, you have more of a chance for an out because he could run off the bag. This one gets away from Cordray, and getting into second base is Drab on a wild pitch. So the pickoff works 1-6 of Frisch, becoming the first out, but Drab advances on a wild pitch. Sort of that 70% rule. When someone gets thrown out on the bases, the hitter at the plate will reach 70% of the time. There you saw Frisch was out, but then the runner at first advanced on the wild pitch the very next play.
That mean a single's coming up right here?
2 balls and 1 strike.
If you're a LaGrange fan, you're hoping so. Well, and there's so many superstitions in baseball. I mean, so many little things happen.
So many numbers.
How many times when you give a team a 4th out do they really make you pay?
Yes. Especially in a tight game like this, well pitched. This should be playable for Sylvie. And he'll get it back into the infield quickly as Harp takes the throw. And staying put is Drab. That's the second out of the inning.
Nice job by Sylvie, hauling that one in, hitting his cutoff man. There's no need to throw it all the way into third. You want that straight line drive type throw into the shortstop, that he can make the decision whether or not to gun it into third or not.
Then Clark. Ball gets away, and heading into third is the runner, Drab.
That's going to be a pass ball. You can't fault Jeans on that one.
Two away.
Maybe the shadows and sun effect is affecting the catcher too. Case and Cordray, he's in the shade. Jeans, the pitcher, in the sun.
Tying inside, 2-0. Vin Clark. I would think that if you're Logan Vin Clark now, you've got to be taken all the way here.
He's also thinking, I'm the pitcher. I got a chance here to bring in a run, and I know it's coming down the middle. Well, he takes the walk.
Second walk of the inning, third walk of the ballgame for Trey Jeans. Dalton Burton. Burton struck out swinging his first time up. Jeans at 54 pitches, only 29 strikes.
I think worth noting, yesterday, Trey Supak pitched the entire game for LaGrange. That's important because Pleasant Grove went through 3 pitchers yesterday. Could be a factor today.
And a majority, though, was pitched by Jared Bayless. So, you know, if you want to bring back Dalton Willigie, that is very much a possibility.
Yeah, he only pitched 1 inning yesterday.
And only threw 34 pitches. He pitched into the second inning. Was taken out before recording an out as the third base coach, Brad Harbor's flashing the signs. Vin Clark, and the runner at third is Drab.
Worth noting, Dylan Sylvie also pitched an inning yesterday, but only 16 pitches. So Jared Bayless, who pitched 77 pitches in 5 innings, don't expect to see him today for Pleasant Grove. Everybody else, be prepared.
Dalton Burton's in the driver's seat as he takes a strike. Now it's a full count. Bayless, the first baseman, will play off of the runner at first, Vin Clark, who's not coming out for a courtesy runner. And with that, a 3-2 with 2 outs, he will start his motor to left. Rayburn makes the play. And Jeans dodges a bullet. And so we are tied as we head to the 4th. Pleasant Grove and LaGrange. 1-1. Jared Bayless leads off the top of the 4th for the Pleasant Grove Hawks. Bayless 0 for 1, a fly out to center to Kolick his first time.
He might have gone on that one. They checked with the ump. No. Oh, he did. Okay, there you go. Did get the call. But that's good heads-up play by double checking with the first base umpire there. That's Rob Heckendorn. But I definitely think his bat crossed home plate. They say about 70% of the time, it's almost impossible to hold up on the check swing, that the bat crosses the plate in some form or fashion about 70% of the time. So a lot of times you'll see the umps just go ahead and call it a strike.
Breaking pitch is skied on the infield. Who's going to take it?
A little bit of a challenge.
Fresh with the play. 1 away. And we saw a couple of balls that were hit in the infield dropped, either in fair or foul territory yesterday. Wind is coming in. And that's what Brad Harbour said possibly might have happened to Shellhammer yesterday.
Yeah, the wind was blowing out.
Yeah, and the ball, he said that, because remember there were 2 plays that were hit over his head. The one being the grand slam by Kolick inside the Parker. With the wind, he said that might have gotten tricked him a little bit.
Ball gets up in that jet stream, if you will.
Right.
Goes an extra 10 feet in the air.
Shupak on the run, gets
nice.
the runner Hopkins. That was close. And a great play by Trey Shupak.
Shupak throwing one of those 90-mile-per-hour fastballs in right there as we take a look at it one more time. He had a choice, either barehanded or grab it with his glove. Right here he decides, okay, I'm taking it with the glove. Good switch over to the hand. Nice throw.
And Rayburn also a good play at first base with the long stretch.
Yes, good call.
Go, Case.
Case and Cordray. Cordray takes a strike. One and one with 2 away. Jason Cordray.
Strike zone a little bit smaller there for Cordray and also for Perlman coming up next. And Vin Clark.
Oh, yeah, Vin Clark not happy. He's walking around the mound.
He's got to bring it down.
Three and one.
Great thing about baseball, doesn't matter what your size is. Anybody can play this sport.
You got guys like Greg Maddox out there that are so dominant. And it's under the glove of Cologne. Couldn't make the play. 2-out hit. Well, in the 3rd inning, Vin Clark was able to retire Rayburn and Harp easily. And then Sylvia 2-out hit to right field. Cordray, after 2 outs, singles into right center field. And it'll bring on a courtesy runner for Pleasant Grove.
Go, Joe!
It's Blake Roberts.
I like the courtesy runner. The whole plan, it's kind of set up to give your pitcher a bit of a break. But so many times in high school, the pitcher's one of your better players, but you don't necessarily want him out there running the bases. Give someone else a chance to get in there and make a play.
And it's designed mainly for those 2 purposes. Speed up the game a little bit, not having to worry a pitcher having to go back in the dugout, get his stuff, and come back out and warm up, or a catcher getting on his gear. and also to get some participants more on the field. Ben Clark fielding his position, and it ends the top of the 4th for Pleasant Grove. Gerald Sanchez with Jeff Power on Fox Sports Southwest. The wind blowing in. And for discounts that could add up to 40% and put a few extra dollars in your pocket, get to your budget by calling your local State Farm agent today. And be sure to visit texas.statefarm.com. As this game and the UIL Championships brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Colby Kolick against Trey Jeans in the bottom of the 4th. Jeans has danced around some trouble in this ballgame. He hadn't been the true consistent 1-2-3 type guy. The only time he's had a 1-2-3 inning in the first 3 was the second with striking out the side at the bottom half of the order with Rayburn, Garrick, and Cologne.
Yeah, had a couple of walks in the last inning, and it didn't hurt him with the game still remaining at 1-1. But look at this. Craig Jones coming out right now. He might be making a switch. And he is. Center fielder coming in.
I believe it's going to be Sylvie that will be the pitcher. And so it'll be Hopkins that will most likely go into center and have Jeans go out into right field.
Yeah, I think you pretty much nailed it. I mean, with the exception of the second inning, and there's been a lot of traffic on the bases here against Jeans. And I think Craig Jones just felt like, you know, we're pretty fortunate this game is still 1-1. Let me see if I can't make a switch and keep this game down around 1-1 for now. The sidearm windup, always deceiving, tough to hit.
Dylan Sylvie pitched in yesterday's game. It was not a save situation when he came in the 7th inning, threw scoreless ball for 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, struck out 1 batter, 16 pitches. So Sylvie can throw several innings here today without it being a big problem.
Definitely good curveball, sidearm motion, right-hander. It's deceptive. It's almost an underhand style. You don't see it as much as you used to see it maybe in the 90s and even in the early 2000s. There was more pitchers who were doing it then, that submarine style. Dan Quisenberry, Kent DeColvey come to mind.
That was 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Kent DeColvey
they both just pitched for so long.
With the We Are Family Pirates in the 79 World Series.
Yes, that
and
was
Quisenberry, the 85 Royals. Yeah, those guys were the kind of the forefathers of that sidewind delivery. Terry Leach, late 80s of the New York Mets. Some of those guys, they were middle infielders that they couldn't make it because they were not very good hitters. And so tinkering in the bullpen, they came up with a sidearm delivery. And somehow that works. That one misses. The walk will be credited to Trey Jeans because he had a 3-0 count. He inherited a 3-0 count. Kolick with the walk. Leadoff walk. So let's see how LaGrange plays it offensively. The number 7 hitter, Chris Rayburn, the first baseman. First time up, struck out swinging. And let's see how Sylvie holds the runner on, because we know that LaGrange likes to run. Perlman going to second. Not in time.
Cannot do that in that situation right there.
Got to take the out. That'll be a sack bunt and fielder's choice on the throw to second base.
I know it's tempting, but one out, runner on second, much better situation than nobody out with runners on first and second. You have to know when the runner is that close to the bag, it's almost impossible to get him out. Now, of course, Craig Jones out to argue that they did get him just in time. Of course, it's a forced situation at second. No tag necessary. Let's just see here. This is the time where you want to get a strikeout if you're Sylvie with 2 on and nobody out.
Got runners at first and second. Landon Garrett.
Oh. Ball hit him in the helmet.
Yep.
Off his bat. You get hit and it's called a strike. That's tough.
Yeah, or how about when a ball is coming at you, you move out of the way, but the ball hits the bat and it's a foul ball, so it's kind of add insult to injury.
That's what crowding the plate will do for you sometimes. Oh.
Now, count of 0-2. Is the bunt still on, Jeff?
No.
That's a trademark of LaGrange. They will either try to put things in motion, play small ball. They can also play long ball, as we saw yesterday.
I'm just looking at the 2 attempts so far here in this at bat.
And it doesn't look like Garrett was very comfortable.
I don't think he would want to make a third. He bunted
outside.
one off his helmet, bunted one foul. Don't put him in a position to bunt the ball foul again and be the third strike. And he's a good hitter too.
The look back. And now 2 have missed outside the strike zone.
Yeah, Sylvie's got to find the strike zone right now. He knows why he was brought into this game. Even though he wasn't charged with the walk there to lead off this inning, he knows he needed to throw a strike in that situation at a 3-0 count, and now 2 are on with nobody out.
What a way to battle. Brad Harbers tries to short hop that ball, showing off some of those skills that he had when he played at LaGrange. First base coach for LaGrange, Wayne Schmidt. Get a shot of Wayne. Wayne was the coach back in 1973 when they won the state championship, and he was also Brad Harbers' coach at LaGrange.
Hire one of your own, huh?
Mm-hmm. Comes out of retirement, tries to help the ball team. Full count now. So the 0-2 has gone to full 3-2, and Garrick looked like, for all intents and purposes, he wasn't going to be able to reach because of the unable to get the bunt down, or at least advance the runners. Now he's got a full count. Kind of funny how things will change within a couple of pitches in the postseason. The bases are loaded, nobody out. Two walks by Sylvie. Actually, it's just one walk by Sylvie. Kolick, the walk belongs to Trey Jeans, and that is his run's responsibility.
Craig Jones, one of the few managers that actually comes out of that dugout. He's standing on the just outside of the dugout and looking at his own dugout right now, trying to see if he can find, maybe if he wants to bring up another pitcher and warm somebody up.
Pleasant Grove offensively have left 5 men on. They've had traffic in every inning. They've had their chances to take the lead. LaGrange now has their chance to take the lead. There's nobody out with Austin Colon, the second baseman. And he hits it on the right side. They're going to try for two, and that's the only play is at second base. Alsip to Harp.
Only the first baseman and the third baseman were in tight. And since that ball went to second, the feeling was, okay, let's try to turn two and get 2 outs here, but unable to do it, not even a throw towards first.
4-6 on the out. And the lead now is for LaGrange, 2-1 on the RBI by Colon. Tanner Frisch, who's 2 for 2. Hitter doesn't have to worry about the sunlight now, as that mound is in shadows.
Still a lot of backlight there, though, with the sun. But nonetheless, I think these players are used to that type of situation. As long as you don't have to worry about the ball leaving the pitcher's hand in daylight and then going into shade, they can usually pick up on it pretty quick. No one warming up. This is Sylvie's inning. He knows he's got to come in hard. Could really use a strikeout here with a 1-2 count.
That run belongs to Trey Jeans. Did he go? Are they going to appeal? No, he did not. Wow. Wow, that was
Rob Heggendorn there making the call pretty quickly, the first base
Let's see
umpire.
If perhaps that we could get a replay on that. That was an important pitch right there. And that'll be a foul ball. Off speed, and Frisch hanging tough.
Sylvie's already thrown more pitches in this brief outing than he did in that entire inning yesterday.
Well, we saw Sylvie has he's had a couple of 2-strike counts, and he's unable to finish off the Leopards. With Garrick now with Frisch ahead in this count with 2 strikes. Here it's 2-2. He ended up walking Garrick. Rayburn is the runner at third base. Colon at first. Ball gets away from the catcher, Cordray, and the run will score.
That's the problem. When there's a runner on third base, you cannot have a wild pitch. And the ball was thrown too far to the inside. Behind the batter, in fact. No chance for the catcher to make the play. And that was one of those runs we were talking about where you just don't want to give up an opportunity like that. You can see the ball was well behind, even beyond the batter's box.
And the release point just was not there.
Sylvie having to dodge the runner as he slid in.
Now Rayburn scores from third, making it 3-1 in this inning, and advancing to second base is Colon. Wild pitch. That was what you would call a wild pitch. 2 outs.
That was the pitch he was looking for the pitch before.
Yeah. Or on Garrick. 2 away with the runner at second base, and Colon in the bottom of the 4th as LaGrange has taken the lead. Dustin Drab. 2 runs have come across here in the bottom of the 4th for a 3-1 lead for the Leopards. You know, there's always so many little things that in a game that all add up, and just unable to finish off a batter with 2 strikes, which is also a credit to the LaGrange Leopards like Garrick, who kept battling and battling and battling. And then Fritsch, who kept battling and battling, driving up that pitch count. We saw Marshall McPherson warming up in the bullpen for the Pleasant Grove Hawks, the right-hander.
Well, these two teams are regulars at the state tournament, 15 appearances between the two of them. And now there is a pitcher warming up for Pleasant Grove.
Now McPherson.
Critical part of the game right here.
Drab has reached base twice with a hit and a walk. And Sylvie gets the strikeout, his second strikeout of the ball game, and 6 strikeouts overall by Pleasant Grove Hawks pitching. But LaGrange scores 2 in the bottom of the 4th without the benefit of a hit. Three hits apiece for both ball clubs. The difference, 2 runs in the last half inning for the Leopards. As it is 3-1 going to the top of the 5th on Fox Sports Southwest. Fox Sports Southwest High School Spotlight. Get the inside scoop on high school sports and notes from around the UIL. Only on Fox Sports Southwest. Neil Beasley just to our right, down the press box, getting content which will be shown later this week. Foul ball over to the right side. Alex Alsop. Talked about Alsop and the things that he's had to overcome. I mean, just a huge loss whenever you lose a parent, especially at an age like that. Craig Jones, after one of the practices, had to pull Alex aside and give him the very sad news that his father had passed. Roy, his father, a big supporter of Pleasant Grove Hawks baseball, and Alex, as well as his teammates, dedicating the season to a big booster in Roy Alsop. As Alex bounces out to the shortstop Fritsch for the first out in the 5th inning. So you've given up 2 runs. You've now trailing by 2 as Casey Rayburn, the left fielder, swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. So Jeff, it's important that they try to manufacture something here. And if anything else, with Vin Clark, get him out of his comfort zone, as he is at 57 or 58 pitches, 38 for strikes. Here's the 0-1.
Well, yesterday, Pleasant Grove, they had a 4-run second. They scored 1 in the 5th and 2 in the 7th. But they haven't been able to put any kind of hits together here in this game. They've been spread out.
Cologne throws out Rayburn. That's the second time in as many at-bats that Rayburn has tried Cologne unsuccessfully.
Yeah, Ty Harp will step up to the plate now, and in a situation where you're down 3-1, you're more than halfway through the game. It's a 7-inning game. You've only manufactured 3 hits in the entire ball game.
Ty Harp, the shortstop.
I've noticed in this case right here, swinging at a lot of balls. You know, the ball's not down the middle of the plate, but they're turning on it. They're giving the pitcher new life. Don't want to be too aggressive.
This is exactly what Brad Harbers and his Leopards want. Would be a 1-2-3 shut down inning after you score runs.
Yeah, that's always so important, especially when you score those runs in the bottom of the frame and the team is coming up in the next inning, in this case the 5th. They only have 6 more outs to work with after this inning.
There was a pitch that was up and outside the strike zone.
And swung at.
You had mentioned.
I mean, it's a 3-1 game. This is a team, the defending champs. If anybody can fight back, they can.
Frisch. 1, 2, 3. 3-1 Leopards. Cheerleaders at a baseball game. As Jeff Power said before we went on the air, you know it's serious when the cheerleaders come.
Yeah, this is, I think of all the games where there's been a state championship-like of atmosphere here at UFCU Disch-Falk Field, and you'll see the cheerleaders up on the dugout, and they're cheering on their team. And I tell you, both teams have done a great job of bringing their fans. The place is just packed in the lower bowl. Good crowd on hand.
You can't miss the purple, can you?
Or the black and gold.
No charge for staring.
And you're really going to start hearing them now. They both realize that we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here in the bottom of the 5th in a 7-inning game. It's still anyone's game at 3-1, but Grange can do some damage here by putting on some more runs. There's another plastic bag onto the field. Oh my gosh, we're going to revisit Danny Rabion's plastic bag incident. And the right fielder out there doing him a favor and saying, hey, I got this. That's Hudson Hopkins out there. Thank you, Hudson.
Reminds me of the time that Joe West was trying to chase down that cat at the old Kingdome in Seattle.
Got bit and everything.
Yeah.
Scratched.
3 hits apiece. However, the Leopards have a 2-run lead, courtesy of 2 runs in the 4th inning, without the benefit of a hit. A wild pitch brought 1 run home, and a fielder's choice RBI brought the other. A couple of walks didn't help it matters at all for Pleasant Grove. Down the left field line and foul.
Shupak is headed to the University of Houston. Had a great outing yesterday, complete game. Reached on a walk in the first inning today. He's 0 for 1 officially. He can hit, he can pitch.
To the right side. And it is Sylvie covering the bag. Bayless, good play. 1 away.
Speaking of pitchers, Glenn Clark with a chance here to maybe add to their lead, but on top of that, get something going here in this frame. Just 1 out. There it is.
Into right. Up. Off the top of the wall. Vin Clark not stopping at second base. A 1-out triple by Logan Vin Clark.
Yeah, great piece of hitting right there. Hit that ball to really the shortest side of the field, right down that right field line. It's only 325. He got a hold of that one. It got up into the wind. That's where the wind's kind of blowing out. It's sort of coming towards the right side. The flag's been wavering around, but a nice job there. He's on third with only 1 out. Good chance of bringing him in. And that's the job right now for Dalton Burton.
The infield is in for Pleasant Grove. Burton 0 for 2.
Have to put this in play, preferably on the right side.
Another run would be huge, especially the way that Vin Clark has settled down. And Vin Clark says, courtesy runner, I don't need a courtesy runner.
He's feeling good with that triple.
Absolutely.
There's a hit.
Vin Clark will just walk home. 4-1, Leopards.
Good piece of hitting right there by Dalton Burton. Lace that ball into left. Logan Vin Clark scoring on the run there on the play. You can see it. Ball just gets by the third baseman. Frozen rope into left. That's a big run right there. 4-1 now. The way Vin Clark's pitching, and to think that he got the triple, you know he's feeling confident.
And things are really coming unraveled here for Dylan Sylvie.
That might be it for Sylvie. Craig Jones looking at his list. He's coming out now. I think he wants a new pitcher, or at least talk to him. Sylvie with that submarine style of pitching, but it's just difficult right now for him to find that strike zone.
When traveling throughout Texas, book your next stay online at bestwestern.com/UIL and receive special pricing. Best Western, the preferred hotel of the UIL, is also a proud donor of the Texas Interscholastic League Foundation, which provides scholarships for music, drama, and academic UIL competitors. Best Western, proud sponsors here are the 2013 UIL Baseball State Championships. Head coach Craig Jones having an extended visit with Paul Rogers at home plate. Chris Rayburn. Burton at second, Kolick at first. Sylvie pumps a strike in there. And looks like there is going to be activity in the bullpen for foul ball for the Pleasant Grove Hawks. Dalton Willigie is heading down to the bullpen. Of course, he only threw 34 pitches in yesterday's game, so I would imagine that he would be available. Willigie. Also, it is Marshall McPherson who was warming up earlier in the ball game. And this one hits Rayburn. And right now, Sylvie has absolutely no idea where this one's going. Burton to third, Kolick to second, Rayburn is at first. Back-to-back hit batters. And you know that that's the last thing that Sylvie wanted to do.
Still only one out. Craig Jones signaling to his infield to bring it home. He's going to stick with Sylvie here. We'll see. It's probably his last batter, I would think. But it is the bottom of the order.
You have a lefty in Willigie and a righty in McPherson loosing in the bullpen for Pleasant Grove. And Landon Garrick, the catcher. First pitch is missing for a ball. If you're Garrick, you got to zone in, because anything less than what is in your zone probably won't come into the strike zone. There's one down the middle. The bases are loaded, one out. This thing can get out of hand very quickly for the defending state champion. The Pleasant Grove Hawks from Texarkana. Left center field. Hopkins on his horse. Won't make the play. They're waving Kolick, and he scores along with Burton.
Great piece of hitting right there by Landon Garrick. Drove that ball into left center. The one hopper drives in 2 runs.
You saw Kolick had to go back to second base. He wasn't sure if Hopkins was going to make the play in center or not. And Brad Harbers just kept on waving that right arm around. Keep going, keep going, keep going, and a lead now of 5, 6-1 Leopards.
The Grange can feel it right now. You saw a shot of their crowd there. They are into it, on their feet. Still only one out. Runners on second and third in a 6-1 ball game.
The infield has come in, but first, Craig Jones comes out of the third base dugout.
That's going to do it. Sylvie just had too much trouble with the control. A couple of hit batters in this inning, the walks. They will come back to haunt you every time.
Sylvie very frustrated. Usually you don't see a pitcher walk off the mound and flip it to his head coach.
A lot of pressure on him. He knew the situation coming in, needed to throw strikes and just didn't have it.
So it looks like it's going to be McPherson coming in out of the bullpen or Willigie. Let's see.
The tough part for Sylvie is in so many occasions he had 2 strikes on batters. He just couldn't get that third strike.
That is a credit to LaGrange, though.
Fouling the ball off.
Fouling it off and keep driving up that pitch count. Sylvie, an inning and a third, 3 hits, 5 runs. Can't close the book on him completely because the runners at second and third are his responsibility. An inning and a third, 5 runs. .39 pitches, 23 strikes.
This is a LaGrange team that has been battle tested. Don't forget, they had to beat Sinton in a 1-game playoff to get to the tournament. They won it 6-2. They were very impressive yesterday and looking good again right now, up 6-1.
Marshall McPherson, who was warming up in the last inning. The right-hander, and just wasn't Sylvie to come in.
This is the Pleasant Grove team that not only the defending champs, they won the state title in 2010. They've been here 6 consecutive years, 7 overall. They had a tough non-district schedule. They were 8-2 in district play. And right now, it's the ultimate challenge for them. They're down by 5 runs. They've only got 6 outs to play with. And the most important thing right now is to not allow any more runs to cross the plate. LaGrange has just taken advantage of what Pleasant Grove has given them. They've only got 6 hits, but they've really done a nice job of moving the runners around. They've picked up 6 runs in this game. And this is uncharacteristic for Pleasant Grove. Not a kind of team that has made a lot of errors all season, although they did have a couple yesterday. Graduated quite a few players from last year's state championship team, but credit to both teams for getting to this point. But right now, LaGrange having their way.
Austin Colon, second and third, 1 away. And the righty McPherson's first pitch is in there. And quickly ahead in the count, 0-2 to Austin Colon. Colon, a freshman in the batter's box. He's really had to step in when injuries were a part of this ball club early on in the season, and he played so well he was able to keep his position at second base. There was a lot of mix matching that went on. Strike 3 called out of half of the plate, and Colon will take a seat on the dugout. The third base side, first base side.
Nice job right there by Marshall McPherson, coming in, throwing strikes, getting that quick out. That's your job. You come in out of that bullpen, you get rid of all those balls when you're warming up. When you get out there to the mound, time to throw strikes. He did just that.
This is the 8th hitter of the inning, and Tanner Frisch, the shortstop, with 2 outs. And that one does not break.
Just hung there.
Cordray had to come out of the chute to make that sure that didn't go to the backstop. Count of 1 ball, no strikes with 2 away. 2 in the 4th, and now 3 here in the 5th. Without the benefit of a hit with the 2 runs in the 4th inning, but they have certainly hit the ball well. Hey, how about that play by Brad Harbers? And again, it bears worth repeating that if LaGrange is able to hold on to this lead, they'll win their 4th state title. And it would be so ironic that, and coincidental if it happens, it would be on the anniversary of their 1st state championship 40 years ago to the day, back in 1973. When Wayne Schmidt was the head coach. Now he's the first base coach. The 2-1 on the way. Strike called. It's 2-2. So McPherson has restored a little bit of order here for the time being. Rayburn at 3rd, Garrick at 2nd base. They take their leads as Marshall goes from the full line. It's a sign from the catcher, Cordray. And the pitch to Fritsch. To right. Fair ball. Jeans lets it go the wall. 8-1 LaGrange.
You could see it coming, a big crooked number, and that's what it would take in this game. This game was knotted up 1-1 until the bottom of the 4th where LaGrange scored 2, but this inning right here, the bottom of the 5th, this has been killer for Pleasant Grove.
Was up and on the outer half of the plate. Give credit to Tanner Fritsch for not doing too much with it. He just put it into right field.
Hit it where it's pitched, right down that line. Driving in a couple more runs.
The 9th batter of the inning is Dustin Drab, as 5 runs have come across and the horse is out of the barn. The old saying goes, as the Leopards out by 7 here in the bottom of the 5th. Drab ahead in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, and struck out swinging in the 4th.
This all started with Logan, then Clark, the triple to get things started. They knew they needed some insurance. He'll walk out of that mound on the top of the 6th feeling very confident, up now at least 8-1. It's been a good 1-2 punch all season long for LaGrange. Both Shupak and Vlin Clark.
Two and two. The lead at 2nd. Could this fall in again? No. Trey Jeans, the starting pitcher and the pitcher of record now.
You can tell that LaGrange really does a nice job of working on their opposite field hitting. That is something that is not easy to learn to do, to teach your mind not to try to pull everything. Hit it where it's pitched. If it's on the outside part, away from you, drive it to that side of the field.
Into center. Making the play is Hopkins. And it retires the side. 5 runs on 4 hits and a man left. LaGrange in control, leading 8-1. Gerald Sanchez with Jeff Power on Fox Sports Southwest. The Pleasant Grove Hawks, the defending state champions, now up against it, trailing by 7 with 6 outs to play with. And Logan Van Clark, the right-hander, his first pitch is a ball.
You know Van Clark's going to be throwing strikes here. He's got an 8-1 lead. If you're Pleasant Grove, all you can do is just take this one batter at a time. You may be down by 7 runs. Don't look at the big picture right now. Just focus on one batter at a time. Try to work your way back into the game.
Yeah, like what we said yesterday, there is no such thing as a 5-run home run. Well, in this case for Pleasant Grove, there's no such thing as a 7-run home run. The immediate here and now, just get on base and just take it one pitch at a time. And Van Clark's pitch. Van Clark at 69 pitches, 44 strikes, has thrown 5 innings, allowed just 3 hits, a run, it was earned, 1 walk and 1 strikeout.
That's a good way to get it started.
Dylan Sylvie with the leadoff walk. He re-entered the game in center field, not Hudson Hopkins. It was Sylvie who re-entered the game. Now Brad Harbers of LaGrange will take the stroll to the mound.
I think this is nothing more than just an opportunity for him to settle down Logan Van Clark. He had the triple last inning, got everything started. They put up a 5 spot. He probably came out there feeling a little too juiced up.
Gatorade knows every victory starts from within. Within is the determination to come up big when it matters most, but it also takes training and fuel. Win from within, Gatorade. And right now, Pleasant Grove is going to have to dig deep as Trey Jeans bats 0 for 1, a walk and a strikeout swinging. And I imagine, you know, Van Clark, it was a long time before he was throwing out there, so.
Not that your arm would get cold in this situation. It's just the fact that you're sitting there for such a long period of time. Get a little stiff maybe after you've already thrown 5 innings of work. He's a little high right now. He needs to work that ball back down. Let him hit it, as they say. You're up 8-1.
Well, as the sun has set, so has the temperature. Getting some nice breeze now. The temperature has dropped 12 degrees. It's 84 out there now.
The Grange folks wanted a strike right there. Paul Rogers says nope. Had the same zone all game long. There it is.
And Jeans will take the stroll. Back-to-back walks. This is not what Harbers wanted. However, if you're Pleasant Grove, you got to be pleasantly surprised because Logan Van Clark had settled into a nice groove. Retired the last 4 hitters he had faced.
LaGrange is going to get a pitcher up here in just a moment.
And 7 out of the last 8 he retired. Jared Bayless. Bayless 0 for 2, fly to center. Kolick to end the first. Popped up to the shortstop, Frisch to start the 4th. Hits it to the right side here. Cologne makes the play at first.
Nice job by Cologne right there. I know it's tempting to try to turn a double play. Get the sure out. You're up 8-1. Right now, outs are more important.
You trade outs for runs at this point.
They need 7 of them over at Pleasant Grove, and they've only got 5 outs to work with. It's a pretty fair trade.
Hudson Hopkins. and the catcher, Garrick, didn't know where it was. Was able to finally find it.
Hudson Hopkins is grounded out to second, grounded out to third. He's due right now. He's got 2 on. Big opportunity for him.
That was that play that Shupak made to rob him of a hit. Remember that bunt attempt, and Shupak came in, and instead of barehanding the ball, he gloved it, and then a good throw and a good stretch at first by Rayburn. And that was the second out of the inning in the 4th. Batting here in the 6th with 1 out and 2 on. Vin Clark, comebacker. And there's going to be a play over at second base or at third. Base running mistake by Jeans. He's going to try to get in. He is out. Did the run score? It scored before the out happened. Base running mistake cost Pleasant Grove an opportunity for more. It was a comebacker. Vin Clark made the play at first base. Jeans went off to third, and retreating back to third was Sylvie. Jeans got caught down in a rundown, and the right play was made. 8-2, LaGrange, middle of the 6th. LaGrange. Trey Shupak. 9 men came to plate for 5 runs in the 5th inning. Grange leading 8-2 over Pleasant Grove here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Shupak. Jeans can't make the play. Not sure what happened to Jeans out there in right field.
Well, first of all, he came in when the ball was hit and then started backtracking out towards right. You see there he is coming in, drops back, Wind gets a hold of it. Down goes Frazier. It's been a tough day for Jeans.
Ruled a double.
We have a courtesy runner now for LaGrange.
Riley Grayson is going to pinch run for Shupak.
Grayson gets all the courtesy running jobs, doesn't he?
Actually, it's a pinch running because Shupak is a third baseman. Credited with them with the double, and now you got Grayson at second base.
Was an error on Jeans on that play, in case you're wondering.
So because initially they gave him a hit, but then they ruled it an error. Okay, so an E9 on Jeans.
In some cases, even if your glove doesn't touch the ball, you know that should have been caught, and that was the case right there.
Here's Vin Clark. Another run wouldn't hurt a thing if you're a Leopard.
(25-9) on the season for LaGrange, trying to make it number 26, which would mean a state championship. The last one, 2004. That's when Homer Bailey was playing for the Leopards. It's been a while.
1973, 2001, and 2004. Well, Jeff, if LaGrange can hold on, I would imagine that, as they do so many times with Houston area teams, the Houston Astros would honor a state champion before a ball game. LaGrange in 2004, Homer Bailey. All the highlights were running out in that right center field scoreboard, and then a couple of years later, he's pitching for the Reds on that same field as before he was honored for a high school player. So the LaGrange looking forward to that again. Alsop, not in time. Infield hit for Vin Clark.
It's a good play by Alsop, but almost impossible to turn that around and get the out at first. The range he had, Alsop playing very deep. It's the first thing I noticed. By the time he gets the ball, he's beyond that line, almost into center field. Just no way to get out the speedy runner. And again, moving down that line, that's why you hustle. That's Logan Vin Clark, the pitcher. Had a great game so far. He's got a single, triple, pitched well.
Blake Harbers is going to a courtesy run for Vin Clark. So Blake Harbers comes on. Blake Harbers is the cousin of Brad Harbers. Head coach Brad Harbers has two cousins that are on this roster for the LaGrange Leopards. Blake, who's running at first. Also Kyle Altman. Kyle Altman, a sophomore, is also a cousin of Brad. And Kyle's sister, his older sister, Madison, played in the softball state tournament last week over at Clark Field, right across the street. They lost in the semis to Mineola. Beg your pardon. So the score is 8-2.
I think Vin Clark gets my vote for MVP of this one. Great job on the mound today. Had the RBI in the first, walked in the third, triple in the fifth, single here in the sixth.
9-2. LaGrange. Dalton Burton. That is his second hit and his second RBI of the state championship game here tonight. Marshall McPherson gives up his first run of the evening. So Grayson scores courtesy or pinch running for Trey Shupak. Courtesy running for Vin Clark. Harbers, he goes to second base. And that will do it for McPherson.
Yeah, they're
going to go back to They're going to go back to Dalton Willigie, who started the game yesterday through 34 pitches. And Willigie will be the fourth pitcher used here for Craig Jones. Dalton Willigie was the starter, but he only went an inning plus. He got into the second inning.
Yeah, Willigie should be fresh, no doubt about it. Did get the start yesterday. Had the Tommy John surgery. Has been through a lot, but battled back through that. A 3-2 record coming into the tournament.
UIL social media, we are where you are for the latest UIL updates. Find us on 1-4-Square, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And let's see who has the most school spirit, and share your favorite picks using the official hashtag of the UIL, hashtag UIL State.
I know if you're Pleasant Grove, you're disappointed today. You want to have your best outing in the state championship game, and it has not been one of their better outings. But you got to kind of feel for them. Who would have thought they would have even been in this situation when they were 10-10 earlier this year and began district play 0-1?
On the flip side, LaGrange almost didn't even make the playoffs. Going into their last game of the season, they could have lost, and if they would have lost to Sweeney, they would have, if they would have lost to Cuero, they would have not even made the playoffs, but they were able to win on the last game of the season and make it as co-district champions at a district 26 3A. And then Lavernia in a one-game playoff. The weather, all kind of issues. They had weather issues in game one of the Lavernia. It's a one-game shot in the area round. And an interesting note about the Lavernia-LaGrange playoff game. Lavernia had a 6-1 lead over LaGrange. And the second inning, the final ended up being 12-7. Ball gets away, and the Leopards will advance.
Yeah,
Harbers goes to third, Burton goes to second.
You mentioned this earlier. They had to beat Needville in 3 games. Then they had the quick one-and-done games against Hidalgo Early College and Sinton. Sinton, of course, a powerhouse in South Texas down there near Corpus Christi. They've been battle-tested.
Shortstop, Harp coming home, and that'll be an out. Boy, that was a strong run there by Blake Harbers.
Well, in that situation right there, he had to run because he had a man sitting on third base.
Yep, the shortstop Harp came on home, and Cordray applying the tag.
Applying, is that the word you want to use there?
You know, baseball is a gentleman's game. A Kolick fielder's choice. Give him. And the
little slap on the face there.
The out with Harbers on a 6-2, beg your pardon. Chris Rayburn. And believe it or not, this is the first out of the inning. It's a 7-run game here, 9-2.
I was going to say, LaGrange feeling a little too good to worry about being tagged on the face.
1-1 the count. Dalton Willigie.
You know, Schupak's only a junior. They've got a lot of juniors on this team. It could be back next year.
And all of that will lead to a run. Alsop and Harper, or rather Harp, look at here, Jeff. That was a fake by Alsop, and
yeah, when you're going to do that, you need to let your teammates know it.
Harp didn't know it, and that went into center field. That's an E2, allowing Burton to score, making it 10-2.
And that's the second time that a runner from the Leopards has had that ball come off his leg and go into center field.
3 errors for Pleasant Grove.
Anything but Pleasant.
And Pleasant Grove also committing 2 errors against Lubbock Cooper in yesterday's ball game. LaGrange committed 3 errors yesterday. Willigie, the left-hander.
That one's out of play. Wind blowing straight in now from center. It's been gusty at times too. Made it a little bit difficult on the outfielders. LaGrange with 10 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. Pleasant Grove 2 runs, 3 hits, 3 errors, and Pleasant Grove with only 1 more at bat coming up in the top of the 7th.
There's a swing and a miss. The tag applied by Cordray for out number 2. First strikeout for Willigie.
Landon Garrick, one of the seniors on this team. And the seniors, you always feel good for them. This is their last chance. There's 7 of them on this LaGrange team.
8 strikeouts now for Pleasant Grove pitching. Landon Garrick.
Pleasant Grove also with 7 seniors.
So the future looks bright, Ben. If you are the LaGrange Leopards, got some Young blood coming back.
Logan Flynn Clark, he's a senior. Came into the tournament batting .377, 8-2 record. Stands to get the win here today, which will make him 9-2.
Harp, and that'll do it in the bottom of the sixth. 2 in the fourth, 5 in the fifth, and 2 more here in the sixth. The Leopards 3 outs away from their 4th state championship in school history. Logan Van Clark, so far 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks, a strikeout, 82 pitches, 51 strikes. For the senior, trying to go for win number 9 this year, and for Texarkana, win number 29. Excuse me, LaGrange, win number 26. And for the Pleasant Grove Hawks, they've got 3 outs into which to try to climb a mountain. Kason Cordray. One and one. Van Clark with the pitch. Fly ball to left field. Burton goes back. He's under it. Two outs away. The fans for LaGrange can really sense it now. Wayne Schmidt, longtime head coach, now the assistant for this LaGrange ball club. This is his 7th state tournament, either as a player or as a coach. Schmidt played at Brenham and, of course, coached here at LaGrange. A lot of the old alums telling Brad Harbers how neat it would be, and telling these young men how neat it would be for them to win a state championship on the 40th anniversary to the day back in 1973. Joel Perlman, who played outstanding in yesterday's game against Lubbock Cooper, lifts this one on the infield. Frisch. And so now it comes down to Alex Alsop. I had mentioned Alsip losing his father to cancer earlier this year, playing all year with a heavy heart. One of the remaining 2 players in the starting lineup for Pleasant Grove as the state champions. And now they're about to be dethroned, and it'll be a new team atop the 3A mountain, the LaGrange Leopards. Vin Clark. One. Fair ball down the left field line. And Alsip making the turn, and he slides in safely. Hit number 4 for the Hawks. Took a fastball that was up and just lined it down the left field line. Alsip collects his first hit tonight. And Alex with his second hit in this state tournament. 1 for 3 tonight, 1 for 4 yesterday afternoon. Base hit in the center field off the bat of Rayburn. And it'll be Jones, the third base coach and head coach, holding up Alsip at third base. So the defending state champions not going down without a fight. They've made it to the state tournament 6 straight years, 7th overall out of District 13 3A in Region 2. The Region 2 champion, Texarkana Pleasant Grove Hawks, collecting back-to-back hits, 5 hits in the ball game. Now it is Ty Harp, the shortstop. Gerald Sanchez up here at the Dish Falk Field, up here in the television booth. Jeff Power is down on the field, ready to get post-game reaction. This could do it. Cologne. The LaGrange Leopards, the 3A state champions in 2013. Chance of LG from the fans. The community has definitely come out here to Dish Falk to support their state champions, the LaGrange Leopards, for the 4th time in school history in high school baseball. (10-2) the final. Winning pitcher Logan Vin Clark. Vin Clark outstanding tonight. 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks, just 1 strikeout, 95 pitches for Logan Vin Clark. Vin Clark, who's got a scholarship to play at Blinn Junior College next year in football, pitches his team to a baseball state championship. Jeff Power ready for the on-field interviews. And let's go now to Jeff Power, who has the starter and winning pitcher Logan Vin Clark.
We're here with Logan Vin Clark right now, and probably going to be the MVP of the state tournament. Give me your thoughts, first of all, about winning a state championship. And you're the man on the hill with a couple RBIs. You had a triple, a single, big game.
Well, it's just good to go out there as a team and get 2 wins in the state tournament. I mean, none of us have been here before, and it's unbelievable being here, man. It's like working as a team, just coming together at the right times, and then winning is just, it's awesome.
Does this kind of feel like unfinished business? You were the quarterback on the football team. Y'all lost in the first round to El Campo after winning the district. Is this some unfinished business, winning the state title in baseball?
Yeah, our senior class is just crazy amazing. Like, I mean, going out there in football, you know, we thinking we're doing good, and we play El Campo, and they brought us down to earth, and then you got to go out there and just give it your all the next sport you have, and then baseball, we come out here, and then we win it all. So it's unfinished business, and it's great.
And Logan, finally, you're one of 7 seniors on this team. Put it in perspective. What does it feel like going out on top? You're headed to Blinn Junior College. This is the way to go out.
I don't know what to say. It's not over for me, but in baseball it is, and this is just the greatest way to do it. So winning a state championship, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
There you go. Go celebrate with your teammates.
Thank you.
Logan, Ben Clark had a triple, a single, a big game here for LaGrange. They are your state champions in Class 3A. Let's send it back upstairs to Gerald. Gerald?
All right, Jeff. 26-9 to finish the season. It was June the 6th, 1973, the first time that the LaGrange Leopards made it to the state tournament, and the first time that they won their state championship. And so 40 years later, to the day, they win their 4th state championship. Sprinkled in there 2001 and 2004, and now in 2013, they can call themselves state champions. We're going to keep it here with the award ceremony. LaGrange wins 10-2.
Representing Lawton and the UIL is Peter Contreras, UIL Assistant Athletic Director. And now, the Conference 3A Most Valuable Player Award, as selected by the media, goes to number 18, Logan. We congratulate the Hawks of Pleasant Grove High School. And now for the Conference 3A champions.
Jeff Power has someone down on the field. Let's take it down on the field. Jeff?
Now the head coach of the LaGrange Leopards, 4th state title in school history and the 40th anniversary of the first one. How does that feel?
Oh, unbelievable. Like I said, we couldn't have written a better script the way this season ended up for us.
It's kind of fitting for you as well, a former LaGrange Leopard yourself.
Yeah, former LaGrange Leopard, and like I said, this was my last game. I'm going into administration. So this is, I can't ask for a better ending. Like I said, awesome.
One way to go out on top, and you kind of were the beginning of all of this back in '73.
Well, I was born in 1973, so yeah, it's 40 years. So like I said, incredible. Just, we're proud. Like I said, I can't say too much about this group of boys. You know, I battled through so much. nobody gave us a chance to be here, and we believed in each other, believed in ourselves, and here we are, state champions.
How about the effort from Logan Ben Clark? I mean, the triple really kind of got that one inning going with the 5 runs. He pitched really dominant on the mound, ends up being the MVP. Look at oh, boy. I tried to help you, Coach. Sorry. You might as well go out on top, right? With some
absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, unbelievable season, unbelievable group of guys, and like I said, I'm kind of lost for words.
Congratulations. Go celebrate with your team. Get a towel, too. All right, let's send it back upstairs to Gerald. Gerald.
Jeff, great job down there. Stay dry, my friend. The LaGrange Leopards, state champions in 2013 for the 4th time in their school history. As we see the final out made by the second baseman, Austin Colon. Celebration in LaGrange, Texas. Thanks for making this broadcast possible, everybody that's watched. This has been the 2013 3A State Championship, the UIL, presented by State Farm. For Jeff Power, I'm Gerald Sanchez. Good night from Austin, Texas.